Hi guys, I've got another story for you today. This is a brilliant one. It's a book based on some instructions called How to Wash a Woolly Mammoth. I think this is a particularly useful one for us this week because I'm going to be asking you to write some instructions later in the week. So let's see what we can learn from here. It's written by Michelle Robinson and Kate Hindley. Does your woolly mammoth need a wash? It's not a very easy thing to do. Woolly mammoths are quite big, and wool is notoriously tricky to clean. Don't worry, just follow this simple step-by-step guide. Step 1. Fill the bathtub. If your mammoth is feeling thirsty, this may take a while. Step 2. Add bubbles. Step 3. Add mammoth. When all else fails, there is always cake. Step 4. Start scrubbing. Don't forget to wash behind those ears. Step 5. Wash his big, fat tummy. Careful, a mammoth's tummy is terribly tickly. Step 6. Make a splash. Step 7. Now for the really woolly bit. You are going to need some shampoo, not too much. Be careful, you don't want to get any in the mammoth's eyes. Oh, that's torn it. Step 8. To get a wet mammoth down from a tree, you'll need a very strong trampoline. Step 9. Let him share a bath with you. Step 10. Throw in the towel and snuggle. Now you can probably see why I like these instructions. They're a little bit silly and a little bit funny. And although I do like them, I think there are some things we can improve. For example, if I go all the way back to step 1, it just says step 1, fill the bathtub. Now, I don't think that's really enough detail. I don't think the writing is specific enough. If I was going to run a bath for a mammoth, I would need more information than that. And that got me thinking. It made me think I could maybe write a better step 1. So I had to go. My first thought though was, what temperature should the water be? I do not want to be trying to get a woolly mammoth into a bath that is too cold or too hot for him. I'm going to switch to my other camera now so you can see what I did in my writing.
So I started thinking about how I could improve this text. The first thing I thought of, as I said, was the temperature. I don't know about you, but when I'm running a bath for my boys, I have to get it just right. If it's that little bit too hot or too cold, well, my boys are not happy and they're not keen to go in. So I want to make sure that I am writing the sentence that will describe the exact temperature that my woolly mammoth could go in. I could have chosen to use something like degrees centigrade to measure my temperature. Instead though, I've thought about what my reader might want to know. You'll notice that I was really careful to make sure that I was staying on the line and that I was doing my best presentation. You'll notice as well that I've done a capital letter at the beginning of my sentence. That's because it's so important when you have an audience that you're presenting your work for them. And I knew that today you were going to be my audience. I wanted you to be able to read my writing. So I concentrated really carefully on how I was forming my words. Hopefully, you can see so far I've got the start of my sentence. Fill the bathtub with. Now this is where I've added in a little bit of extra information. Rather than just fill with water, I've included another piece of information here. The temperature of the water. I thought a better instruction for step 1 would be, fill the bathtub with warm water. That gives a little bit more detail. It is a little bit more specific. I think that's something that's really important. But that wasn't all. I thought I could still make this sentence even better, so I had another look at it, and I had another go. And I came up with this instead. Fill a very large bathtub with warm water until the water half fills the bath. Much more specific. You'll see that I've added in these pieces of extra information. Very large bathtub. Because of course I'm not going to be trying to squeeze my mammoth into a normal sized bathtub. That's not going to work. I also wanted to make sure that there wasn't going to be too much water spilling everywhere when the mammoth gets in. So I've said until the water half fills the bath. I think without that piece of information, it could be a very messy bath time. I did have another think though, and I still thought I could improve this sentence. So I tried one more time. Here I've written, first put a very large bathtub in the garden and fill it halfway with warm water. You see, the thought of that mammoth splashing everywhere made me feel a bit nervous. I know Mrs. Yates wouldn't be very happy if I brought a mammoth into our bathroom and got water all over the floor. So I've added in these pieces of extra information. First, put a very large bathtub in the garden. I've included the position of the bathtub and what step this is, using that conjunction at the start of my sentence. And I've still then included the same information at the end. I'd like you to have a go at this today, guys. I want you to choose one of the other steps in how to wash a woolly mammoth. See if you can improve it. Write it out once. Add something, some more detail, make it more specific. Write it out again, and then do it a final time. Good luck. Enjoy this mission.